Spencer Kaufman here with How To Video Channel. In this video, we are going to show you how to build a circular retaining wall that is a decorative wall that will go around a flagpole. So we've got the flagpole here, it is in, and the first step is to mark the circle. So we've taken a string and a spray can and gone all the way around in a 15-foot circle. So the next step will be setting the blocks on, and remember the grade is key. So right now we're pretty level. We'll level each block with itself and with the other blocks around it and stack them up one by one. So we'll come back and show you what that looks like. Okay, so here we are. We have several blocks placed. It was a really quick process. Just place them down right along the line, and since the ground is fairly level and this is also a circular wall with dirt that's going to be piled on the inside, we are at a little more liberty to take less detailed precautions, but as you can see it is still very level. So if we move there, check that, looks good. Check this one, and here we're a little off. So we need to raise the other end. It means it's sinking down there. So this is a lot higher, this is a lot lower. So we have two options. We either leave it be since it's level over here, and really it would just be from about this block to this block that has sinking downward. But since again it's going to be a big circle, unless we were to make sure, because it looks like that end there is higher than this end over here, so we could put in fill and level it perfectly and then build the circular wall, or we can just put the wall up together around it and it'll be a little bit higher over here than over here, but it will still be level. It'll just be the height that's different. So it would be at a slope, which due to the nature of this, that will be just fine as long as we continue to be on this level pattern. So with that, we're going to get the rest of the blocks and finish going around the entire circle and then see how that comes out. We'll show you that next. Okay, so here we are. We have the first course laid. They all fit in pretty well. We didn't have to cut any block. And you can tell it is a little waved, like over here. It is a little lower than right here, but it isn't much. So we're gonna go with it. It is a kind of a ripple effect, and it will still hold dirt just fine, and it will look great when it is finished. It'll still be nice and level at the top, and it's still solid. So the only other thing we could do if we really wanted to make it all the same would be to dig out the grass along and underneath the block so that it would be level and they would be firm. But right now we're going right on top of the grass. So that is the situation here, and it's going to work just fine. So we're going to come back and I'll show you the next course. Now remember, between courses, it will be great for you to use an adhesive bonding agent. So you'll need a caulk gun and squirt it on there and then put the next block on one by one. So we'll show you that step coming up next. Here we are ready to start laying the second course. So when it comes to the second course, you would really want to make sure you use an adhesive. So I have mine prepped already. I did a couple blocks there with this bonding adhesive. It is a PL product, PL 500 by Loctite. So you can either lay it on here on the block itself and then put the new block on top, but making sure you line it up properly is pretty tough. So I recommend laying it on the new block, and then you can simply flip this right over, make sure they're lined up, and away you go. There, you've done one, and flip that one on, and now we've got two. So there we go. We can check for level, and we see we're right on. So that's exciting. If you weren't, you'd have to finagle the base course because these are not going anywhere. So that's that. We got 2 of them done. We're gonna go through, put the rest on. Hopefully we can get by without having to make any cuts, because cutting these is a pain since it's not simply cutting in half, it's more of rounding each edge and making them look good. So we'll see if we can do that. We're gonna keep going, lay up the second course till we get all the way to the last block, and I'll show you that step. And if we have to cut one, I'll show you that too. So we'll find out when we get there. Here we are, we have the second course all laid up and glued on. Now we ran into some trouble with this. So what happened was the blocks weren't lining up. So right here you see we have the crease of the first course, the joint in the middle or the center of the second course block, and then vice versa. The joint in the second course is in the middle of the first course block. So what was happening is they weren't lining up at all. And so in order to remedy that, we have 2 spaces. So I left out a space over there on the other end and then one here, which essentially means we are going to have to cut 2 block to fill these little holes. Now the best way to do this is to lay the block right up on top like this, and then use the marker and mark the 2 little corners right here and right here. So you want to put that there and mark those corners. What I will do is hold this just like that, show you right here with the marker, right underneath, you go right along the existing block. And you can do that on each side. And then what that'll do is give us 2 good lines. Sorry, the shadows there. A line right there and a line right there. And that's what we're gonna cut. So to cut this, you can use a skill saw with the blade backwards, or a mason saw would be best. Or if you really were desperate, you could use a pickaxe or a chisel or a hammer or something and try to break that corner off. So that's the way we sit right now. I'm gonna go mark the other side there, get these 2 blocks cut and placed, and that will be it. I will come back and show you the finished product. Here we are, here is the last block. So we have cut it, and it fits beautifully. Just get that in there, just like that. So, there we go. You can see here we had to cut a little off each end. We can always slide that around, but it looks pretty good. So there it is. There is the circular retaining wall around a flagpole. The next step will be to fill this in, so we'll get some landscape fabric in there and fill it in and make a nice mound of plants, etc. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it really helped you out. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Also hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon to be updated for future videos. Thank you.